Center Court, Wimbledon. Breakfast at Wimbledon live today, the women's final with three-time champion Chris Evert. Well, the question is, what kind of game and what kind of emotions will Novotna bring today?
Well, first of all, neither one of these players has won at Wimbledon, but they both have a lot of experience in big match situations. They've both been in the finals of Grand Slam events, so they won't be intimidated at all. I mean, Jana Novotna, she reached the final 93. She's probably sick of hearing about that match in which she choked against Steffi Graf, but she reached the final, and also 91 the Australian Open. She's no stranger to big matches. And Martina Hingis, only a 16, wins the Australian Open, finals of the French. She's more determined than ever to prove that, yes, I am #1. I'm not going to lose another Grand Slam title.
And at 16, many would rate Hingis stronger mentally than her opponent today.
I think what the beauty of this match is the contrast. It's very much like the Martina-my rivalry, the McEnroe-Borg rivalry. One's a serve and volleyer, one's a baseliner. Jana Novotna is very serious, very intense. Martina Hingis is carefree and loose out there. Martina Hingis is young and has time on her side. And Jana Novotna is thinking, I don't have too many years left, and this is my surface. If I'm going to do it, I better do it this year.
I have the sense that many in this crowd, and even in the women's locker room, sentimentally are pulling for Novotna.
I think so, and in this booth too. I think everybody has this image in their mind still of her weeping on the shoulder, of the Duchess, and we sympathize with her, and I think she definitely will have the crowd really pulling for her.
At 28, her mother and father are watching in her home Brno in the Czech Republic in a hospital room. Her father recovering from a serious accident, so that adds all the more to the emotions of the event today. Well, no matter what, we will have a first-time Wimbledon champion crowned. Interesting, it's 1981 was the last time that Martina Navratilova and Steffi Graf were not in the final. And you have to go all the way back to Monika and Chris Evert. So they knock up Hingis and Novotna, who will be the 97 champion.
The Odyssey has a fold-away rear seat. It drives like a car. It even has 4 doors. Perfect for the family on the go.
It's hunting season, Ted! Hello!
The Odyssey from Honda.
Didn't this training start at 6?
Yeah, where is he? This is ridiculous.
I'm not going to sit here and take this.
Feeling a little frustrated? Tired of waiting? You don't understand what's going on? That's how it feels to fly sometimes. Make it your responsibility to make sure no one feels that way on United.
Compared to the rest of the industry, United is heading in a different direction.
This is the Silicon Prairie, where we get 30,000 calls a day here at Gateway 2000. How come?
Because it was the best value.
I got my money's worth.
We built the computer that I needed.
I needed a high-performance machine, and that's what I got.
And they were great. I felt comfortable right away.
Great big boxes look like a cow.
I got a fork.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. To find out more, call 1-800-GATEWAY. Isn't it time you called?
This week at Rancho La Puerta, I will swim 310 laps. I will run 23 miles. I will lift 2 hours a day. I don't think so.
At Rancho La Puerta Spa in Baja, Mexico, you can do everything. Or should your determination completely fail you, absolutely nothing. But you can't do anything with American Express, so bring your Visa card. It's everywhere you want to be.
This week, I will run 25 miles.
The Championships Wimbledon, brought to you by American Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles, motorcycles, and power equipment. By United Airlines, heading in a different direction. United Airlines, rising. By Gateway 2000, personalized computers shipped factory direct. And by Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Center court well bruised. The rains of the first week of this fortnight, softening conditions, and then torn up a bit by all the active play as they caught up as Martina Hingis and Jana Novotna warm up. Hingis, precocious is almost too soft a word to describe the tremendous talent of this woman at 16. She lives in Trubach, Switzerland, moved there with her mother, who was her coach Melanie, at the age of 7, born in the Czech Republic. #1 in the world, lost only once all year. That was in the finals of the French Open to Eva Maioli. Already has earned over $1.5 million, and the winner today about $600,000 more.
She's really breezed through this tournament to the final, not losing a set. I think her toughest opponent was Ann Kramer in the first match. She was a little unstable with her footing on the grass. She only had a half an hour before Wimbledon of practice on the grass. That's poor preparation, but really not too much trouble. And then, of course, in the semifinals, Anya Kournikova, the Russian player, who proved that she's here to stay. She's just not hyped. She got a lot of publicity this tournament, but fell short of our expectations, I think, that semifinal match.
Hingis did not have to play a seeded player. In fact, the highest rank was Sabine Appelmann's 19th. Novotna then becomes her toughest opponent in regard to world ranking. She's 3rd in the world. Brno, Czech Republic. 28, 12 years older than her opponent. She's had a solid season, 1 title, and a 31-8 record.
And because she is a serve and volleyer, has to work a little harder on the grass. She had a tougher route. Look at those 3-set matches. The first round, lost the middle set, but came back strong. Leon Garcia in the 3rd round. That was her first straight set victory. I think that Mary Jo Fernandez 4th round, that was a pivotal match. She won 7-5 in the 3rd, yet she was down 4-3 and 5-4 with Mary Jo serving. So she really showed some guts in that match. And then Sanchez Vicario, the 8th seed, easier than we expected.
They've never played on grass. This is their 6th meeting. Hingis with a 3-2 edge. They played once this year. That was in Miami at the Liptons, and Hingis prevailed 6-4 in the 3rd.
Once again in that match, Novotna had point for 5 to go up 5-3 against Martina Hingis, and mentally was a little frail at that time. Just started to let up and got a little nervous.
Well, in our many years coming to Wimbledon, one of the most memorable scenes was when Novotna just self-destructed 4 years ago against Steffi Graf and was comforted by the Duchess. And then this year when she beat in the semifinals, Sanchez Vicario, said, "I finally have another chance." And the Duchess waited late into the evening to watch that semifinal, and you had the feeling that she was rooting for Novotna to get a chance. And we'll be watching her today, elegant in white, front row of the royal box. She, of course, will be involved in the presentation of the Ladies' Championship.
Jana Novotna still to this day won't admit that she choked at that point. Choke, that's such a bad word, and you know, for tennis players, nobody likes to admit they choke, but you know, the reality of it is we've all choked many times, whether it's getting tight, whether it's overhitting, and she definitely started to overhit in that match. She served a double fault, and then I saw one volley that almost hit the backdrop, almost hit the royal box, and never won a game after that.
Coached by a 4-time Grand Slam champion, Hana Mandlikova, the woman that you faced in the 1981 Wimbledon Championship and defeated her in straight sets. And there's Hana, who had her ground strokes were about as beautiful to watch as anyone who's ever come to this court. She didn't win Wimbledon, but was very successful. 2 times the Australian champion, one in France and once in the United States. She is the coach of Novotna. Novotna won the toss and elected to receive. So the teenage prodigy will open her first Wimbledon championship on serve. Jeremy Shales, veteran umpire in the chair from Teddington, Middlesex, England.
Whoa. Quick start from Jana Novotna.
Hingis tests her immediately with that overhead.
And that's where she's going to be winning at least 90% of her points from the net. seeing Martina Hingis, who really is basically a baseliner, but she'll be coming into the net a lot more, too, because she's complained openly about the grass. Says it looks like a soccer field out there.
Looked as if she thought about attacking in the middle of that last point.
Exactly.
So it's Novotna, the steady player in this opening game, and earns 3 break points.
Adamstown, Pennsylvania, a true story. At a flea market, a man bought a frame for $4.
A scouting report, Chris.
Well, you see the classic grass, very much like Martina Navratilova. All the Czech players pattern their games after her. Great instincts at the net, great technique with her volley, effective backhand slice. It stays low on the approach shot. I'd like to add high percentage of first serves, and also, will she keep her nerve? When she gets into a lead or even close with Martina Hingis, it's important for her to keep her cool, to forget about what happened in the past. Just play the ball, not her opponent or the occasion.
Well, Hingis gives Novotna a little of her own action by whistling that forehand by her. Novotna attacking on her first serve and probably will throughout the match. Let's see about the second. Yes. Well done.
Well, important for Jana to get at least 60% of her first serves in, because you know what? If Martina Hingis is broken, she won't be too bothered by that. She likes target practice. She likes someone at the net. She loves those passing shots. Really no placement to this serve. It was right to her. Martina Hingis expected it. And in order for Jana Novotna really to make her case, I like to say she's a two-shot player. That the serve and the volley, because if she lets it get any further than that and get into a rally, Martina Hingis definitely has the advantage.
And takes the 2-love lead. Novotna leads 2-game. Melanie Molitor, the mother and coach of Martina Hingis.
She's great for Martina. She just lets her be a kid. You know, she encourages her other activities, horseback riding, rollerblading, to be with her friends. But she's tough on her. She's tough on her in the way that Martina has a little bit of a lazy streak, and she can get complacent sometimes. Doesn't like to practice. Her mother really encourages her and pushes her in that respect.
Now Hingis yet to win a service point. Down love 2, love 15.
Novotna is really up for this occasion. Just coming in off a weak second serve, another weakness in Hingis's game. Important for Martina Hingis to get her first serve in, because Jana is going to be all over that second serve.
So after 6 straight points to Novotna on her serve, Hingis owns a point, 15-30.
Well, if anyone is going to beat Martina Hingis, the #1 player in the world in this tournament, it is going to be Jana Novotna, because she has variety. She has all the shots.
Jana Novotna storming out of the gate. 3-love lead.
3 points in 3 games.
Exceptional court sense. I mean, that's something that can't be taught. That's instinctive. She combines power. She has touch. Can raise game when in trouble. We'll see if she can raise her game. She's down 3-love right now. She has to do that. She must be mentally focused. She does have lapses. It's her favorite shot, that backhand down the line. She sets up well, hits on the outside of the ball.
Her baseline shot making very precise.
15. And at this point, her game has to go up a notch. And we've seen her on the brink of losing to so many players. And she's been able to raise the level. Jana Novotna miss a ball yet in 3.5 games.
30-15.
So quick at the net, just cat-like. Down the line backhand is a harder shot to hit because you're hitting over the higher part of the net. Very often serving volleyers. I know when I played Martina, she always expected the cross-court pass. Whenever I hit it down the line, it was always a given. I'd win the point.
Good serve from Novotna, and she's a point away from a 4-love lead. At this point, overpowering her younger opponent.
Look at that serve. I mean, she hits a very flat serve. 8 winners and no errors, no mistakes.
That last serve, 113 miles an hour. That's right up there with the best.
Novotna, 4-love.
Coming up next on NBC, WNBA, the birth of a league. We'll look at the history of women's professional basketball in America. Learn the inspiration behind the WNBA. One of the league's top scorers, Andrea Stinson, leads Charlotte against '96 Olympic gold medalists Lisa Leslie and the LA Sparks. That's coming up 2 p.m. Eastern on NBC.
Good play. She's starting to figure something out here. Plan A didn't work. Jana Novotna also, her nose is right on top of the net. She's moving in all the time. This is the first lob Martina Hingis has hit.
Beautifully placed.
30 Martina Hingis, if I can't beat her with my game, I'll beat her with her game. She's serving and volleying. This match could be a race to the net.
40. Hingis, who has enjoyed great success here at Wimbledon, even though she's just 16 now. She was the junior champion here. She was the doubles champion last year. And if she should win today, she would be the youngest ladies champion in this century. And Hingis finally with a game, but trails 4-1 to Novotna opening set.
People like to go places.
Wimbledon, Jana Novotna leading 4-1. NBC royalty in the box today. President Dick Ebersol, his wife Susan St. James.
He said he was going to wear that white suit, and we all dared him. He said he wanted to stand out.
Jana Novotna serving with a 4-1 lead. Playing very solid tennis here early. Catches the baseline. You mentioned how significant Hingis' victory today would be. The youngest of this century. Well, the youngest ever of a Grand Slam event. Charlotte Lottie Dodd in 1887 when she defeated the famed Blanche Bingley for the Wimbledon title. Hingis 16 years and 3 months when earlier this year she won the Australian Open. Monica Seles 16.5 as the 90 French champion, and Tracy Austin was less than 17 when she was the U.S. Open champion in 79. Hingis thought ball was long. It sure did look long, but no call. 30-15.
It's almost eerie how well Jana Novotna. I haven't seen a woman play this well in the center court, and I mean since Martina really dominated Wimbledon.
Next process.
And unlike a U.S. Open, say, or any other type of court, a mediocre volley, I mean, that's a nice drop volley, but on a hard court, at least you'd have a play on it. But it just died on that grass.
See how Novotna attacking and getting 2 out of 3 points, and she has held to go 5-1 in this opening set. Well, the European-born tennis players on the women's side have really dominated the game in the 90s. This will be the 31st Grand Slam singles title of the decade, and only 2 not born in Europe have won a title. Gabriela Sabatini, Argentinian, and Mary Pierce, born in Canada. All the rest were born in Europe and none American born. Sign of the times.
Ooh, oh.
That might have been a 6 in cricket. Well back.
Jana wants it back. And I think you're going to see more of Martina Hingis coming to the net. Certainly isn't doing very well staying at the backcourt. And she can volley. She's a very capable volley. She's played a lot of doubles. She has good soft hands at the net. She anticipates well. Here she comes again.
But down 2 breaks in this opening set. Good serve. 5-2. Novotna serves for the set when we come back.
Did you find it?
Partner Lindsay Davenport because of a thigh injury or thigh fatigue. Here's her career Grand Slam record, twice to the finals, 91 Australian, and of course that famed 93 Wimbledon defeat to Steffi Graf.
Not that strong, considering she's played 12 years on the tour. And I've always said she's too good a player not to have won a Grand Slam at this point.
And her first serve has been devastating. She serves for the set. She's lost only 1 point off her first serve to Hingis thus far.
And we all know that she can play this way. That's the thing. I mean, she hasn't won more tournaments or done well in the Grand Slam because of mental toughness. She just has lacked that. She's a different player out here so far. But I say so far because look who she's playing against, Martina Hingis, who will go up a notch, believe me, if she loses this first set. Just anticipating so well at the net. But their matches have been close. Very few have been one-sided. So she enjoys playing Martina Hingis. She enjoys the challenge. She also knows that unlike a Steffi Graf or Martina Navratilova in the past, Martina Hingis can't blow her off the court. I mean, this is really Jana's match to win or to lose.
For the veteran Novotna against the 16-year-old, 22 minutes to post a 6-2 opening set win. Now the pressure falls on young Hingis. Can she raise it a notch? And Novotna almost a perfect set for her.
She is going to try to take the net away from Jana Novotna. Jana has won 90% of her points at the net.
Rolex time of the match, 22 minutes. For 20 years, Rolex has kept the official time here at Wimbledon.
Jana has to start seeing that she's hitting a lot down the line backhands.
Novotna using that forehand slice. You don't see a lot of that, but it's a good weapon charging in behind it.
She just gets down so low. That's what I love about her. She's bending her knees. She's crouching. She's so quick. Martina has had some opportunities to make some more passing shots. But this is one of the problems with not being tested in your earlier rounds. She really hasn't played a player of this standard, especially she's only played one serve volleyer, and she was left-handed.
That was a dicey little overhead. She was backpedaling in the middle of the swing.
Her overhead is actually better than her serve. She has more power on her overhead. She's really built up her serve, however. It used to be a powder puff serve. But now she's using her legs more. She has a better wrist snap. She's doing some more upper body weights. I think that's making her stronger.
Well, something we didn't have the entire first set. A deuce game.
It's interesting, you know, when I talked about Martina not being overwhelmed by the occasion because she has won a Grand Slam before. My first Wimbledon final, I played Billie Jean King, lost 6-love, 7-5. Totally was shell-shocked in the first set. I was overwhelmed by the occasion, by the emotions, by nerves. And then I started to get going. I feel like if I would have won that second set, I really, you know, had a good chance in that third. But that's the way she looks out there.
Hingis holds to open the second set.
Announcing the lighter side, an official video from Wimbledon. You cannot...
To Novotna, 6-2.
Well, look at the stats here. 71% of Novotna's first serves for a serve and volleyer. That is a very high statistic. And look at the break chances. Hingis has had none. Novotna has capitalized on 2. Hingis has not even come close to doing any damage on Novotna's serve.
In fact, she won only 6 points off Novotna's serve in the first set.
She's just placing it so well. Not only power, but serving wide, serving down the tee, really mixing it up.
Net, second service.
Father Frank, Mother Liba, Novotna watching from their hospital room in Brno, Czech Republic. And they must be enjoying what they're seeing from their daughter.
It's interesting watching Jana Novotna's body language out there. She's looking at her racket. She's looking down at the ground. Her head is down. She's not looking around at the crowd, or she's not eyeball to eyeball with Martina Hingis. She's very focused. Oh.
Their second ace.
Perhaps not the best place to hit Martina Hingis. She loves that down the line, but she can really pull it cross court too. Her forehand is her weaker side. A couple of solid returns from Hingis's end. And, you know, I sense, as knowing Martina Hingis, if she can just connect with a couple, 3 or 4 in a row of passing shots, that she's back in this match.
Game Novotna, it's 1-all. Novotna leads by a set. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Live again. Long-standing tradition of breakfast at Wimbledon continues. Pete Sampras goes for his 4th Wimbledon title against Cedric Pioline from Paris. Pioline and Sampras played in the '93 U.S. Open final. 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific tomorrow.
15 love.
Martina Hingis was a little slow the point before this. When I went into the locker room last night, the first thing her mother said to me was she's put on 3 kilos since the French.
You know, 6 pounds.
So about 6 or 7 pounds, and it's very easy. When it rained the first week, the players are not training as hard as they should. They're in the locker room waiting for their matches, and there's a lot of food in that locker room. So it's very easy to put on weight and maybe get a little out of shape in that situation.
Net.
1-all, 15-all second set. Very quick 6-2 set for Novotna to open the match.
30-15.
My first Wimbledon, I came over here, Dick. I gained 10 pounds during the 3 or 4 weeks, and because, you know, they have this 4th meal here. It's called tea time. So every 4 o'clock every afternoon, I go up to the tea room and have chocolate eclairs and tea. Whoa. Starting to connect a little bit more with her passing shots. The great thing about Martina Hingis, if if plan A is not working, she can revert and over to another plan. Like players like Steffi Graf, they would just hit. How many times have you heard in the press conference, I kept going for my shots and they just weren't working.
Bad bounce there.
You just have to figure when you play on grass, you're going to get a few bad bounces. You just hope they don't come at match point or the crucial points, but important not to be rattled.
Ooh. A great approach, a better answer from Hingis. Novotna leading by a set, her pre-match view of her opponent today.
Definitely, it's going to be a very interesting contrast. #1 player in the world and a very young, talented player against me, a grass court player. So I think we will see two contrasts of styles, and I think that always brings a nice tennis. And again, I'm going to go out there and enjoy it. It's going to be my second time, so I think I'm a bit older, and I will enjoy it more.
She certainly enjoyed that first set.
And she is more mature. She's much more relaxed. I mean, this match against Graf was 4 years ago. And also, Steffi Graf, she had such a great reputation on grass. She was such a great champion. She had more weapons. Her opponent, Martina Hingis, really has yet to prove herself on grass.
And if there was a little hole in her armor, it was the fact that she admitted to the press that she hates grass, and some of the folks here at the All England Club weren't all that pleased at that announcement. But she isn't the first to not favor this surface on initial encounter, but learning to enjoy it. You were more comfortable on clay. You got to the point where you kind of looked forward to that center court, didn't you?
I got true bounces on clay, or hard courts. It's very tough, this surface, for baseliners. I mean, you look at the grass, it's chewed up. It's hard to have long rallies. You don't always have a true bounce. And the players like Novotna or Martina Navratilova love to slice and to hit low, and we always have to hit up.
See how rough that is right behind the tee.
The grass is longer this year, they said, because they're trying to slow down the court for the men. Ooh. And Martina anticipated this well before Jana even hit it. She was up there, and Jana had a good opportunity. She had a racket on the ball.
.40, 30.
Won her more points than any other shot so far. Jana has to start to think about this.
And for the first time today, Martina Hingis is to deuce in a game against Novotna serve. 7 backhand winners.
Oh, not deep enough. She's so smart, this Martina Hingis. For 16 years old, she can really size up her opponents, and that's a good play. We're going to see more lobs because Jana is right on top of the net, but that one wasn't deep enough.
Terrific pickup from Novotna on the return. Brilliant volley from Novotna. It's 2-all. Martina Hingis, youngest to be ranked #1 on the WTA Tour, youngest to earn $1 million in prize money, youngest to win a Grand Slam singles title this century, Australia, youngest to win a Grand Slam doubles title ever. when she won last year with Helena Sukova here at Wimbledon. Even Lottie Dodd was older than Martina.
And she's still far from her peak, that's for sure. She can still improve. That's a scary thought.
15 love.
And in this match, she can only get better. And Jana Novotna cannot get any better.
Top of her game. Novotna played very well against Arantxa Sanchez Vicario in the semis. Now Novotna showing more than just serve and volley.
Well, she has all the shots, but sometimes players with a lot of shot selections don't always choose the right shots. I think that was the problem with Hanna Manlikova, her coach. And there she is. She's the Grand Slam champions, and 3 of them. I think Jana Novotna is a more solid player than Hanna was, but Hanna certainly had that flair. She moved beautifully, very much like Yvonne Goolagong. She can hopefully translate some of this Grand Slam winner knowledge into Jana.
Serve and volley. She covers the net. That's a big point at 2-all, 15-30.
And because she's played so many doubles matches, she won Wimbledon last year. She loves to play doubles because then she doesn't have to practice as much. That reminds me of McEnroe used to say that. And here she's still in the mixed doubles. She lost her women's doubles yesterday, but she loves playing all of the events here. I don't think we've ever seen a player go from being a baseliner to a serve volleyer in one match like this. She's never came in the first few games. All of a sudden, she's a serve volleyer. Oh. And this forehand that Jana Novotna hits, look at that big backswing. She hits it flat most of the time. That's the shot that'll go off. There's really no safety net to it because it has such a big backswing.
Two-all deuce.
Oh, there we see it again.
Or she lined that up patiently.
Now, Jana Novotna as a player should realize that there's a real pattern here. She has hardly hit any cross-court winners. Sometimes you're in such a zone, though, that you don't recognize these patterns.
And again. Hingis holds. 3-2 in the second.
Feast your eyes.
Join us later, Bud Collins. Welcome back to Wimbledon. On serve, no breaks here in the second set. Jana Novotna, the 28-year-old from the Czech Republic. Impressive 6-2 winner of the opening set. She serves 2-3.
Well, 72%. I keep saying that for a serve volleyer, 60% would be fine. She's winning 81% of the first serves that she puts in.
Just long.
15-all.
But this second set is going to be a match because this is a different Martina Hingis. She's starting to connect and read Jana Novotna's serve a little bit better and get prepared for it. It's almost like now they're pitting strength against strength. Jana Novotna's serve, which is her strength, against Martina's return of serve.
Slight opening for Hingis at 15-30.
A little bit of a bad bounce on that return of serve.
Well, the defending champion is Miss Steffi Graf, who has won this title 7 times. Knee surgery, out for perhaps a half a year. But that has opened up the championship and gave Novotna renewed hope, as well as all the other women.
No, I would, for one, would love to see her come back because she has been a great champion. She's a great athlete. It would be nice if she could retire on her terms and not because her body's falling apart after all these years.
Net for 6.
Point away from 3-all. Just long. So after having so little hope in that first set, Hingis in the last 2 Novotna service games has taken her to deuce.
Little relief on the face of Martina Hingis. This is such a huge game for both players, but if Martina Hingis could break here, she'd be up 4-2. She's a great front runner. I don't think you want to be on the losing end against Martina Hingis because she only steamrolls over you after that point.
Oh, she cracked that backhand return. And her first break point.
Advantage, Miss Hingis.
Novotna leaning low to pick off a bad bounce and hit a winner.
And her balance is so beautiful here. Look at her upper body. She lunged a little bit for that ball, but just her anticipation. It's the first time I've ever seen her lunge for a ball.
What a shot.
She's pumped up now, and now she believes she can win this match.
Go online to NBCSports.com for the latest from Wimbledon. Special feature, Chris Everett. On the baseline. Again on NBCSports.com, Chris will discuss the state of tennis in the U.S., youth of the game. Of course, that'll include Martina Hingis, Kornikova, Venus Williams, and others. Preview of the men's final as well. It's all at NBCSports.com. Terrific point from Novotna.
Longest baseline rally we've had between these two women, but Jana just trying to find any opportunity to come into the net where she's more comfortable. Stabs at this volley. A lot of depth. This match is really heating up right now. That's the first one that she read. And she smacked that, hit that one right in front. Again, trying to get into the net at every opportunity. That's where she's winning most of her points. Smack.
Novotna constantly attacking. But Hingis doing a good job when she approaches her percentage actually higher. 4-2, Martina Hingis, second set. 30 all. Novotna leads by a set. And one of the few easy points for Hingis.
Well, Jana Novotna now starting to get a few bad bounces also. Martina Hingis was the receiver of those bad bounces in the first set. That's why you have to be flexible. You have to be ready to jump or lunge at anything.
Well, Novotna on that point beating Hingis at her own game.
And there's that that big loop on that forehand, more compact backhand, just likes to slice it, chip it back. An unforced error from Martina Hingis. No reason for her to miss that shot. Well, that's the place to be, at the net. Both players winning more of their points at the net than from the baseline. Martina Hingis, very still upper body, great balance. That's why she started horseback riding, was to keep that upper body still and to get it erect.
And an ace for Hingis. She holds 5-2 in the second.
Well, Visa Gold bought you the clubs and the clothes and 3 rounds at breathtaking Pebble Beach. The one thing it couldn't buy you was a single decent shot.
I quit! Finish without me!
I can't. Those were my clubs.
Fortunately, it had enough purchase.
Outside of the ball, and it's a very deceptive shot. You can't tell where you're hitting with those two hands. She certainly won a lot of points against Jana Novotna with that shot in this match.
And that is her stronger wing. If she has a weakness, it's playing to her forehand, but now is a game away from forcing a decisive third set as Novotna serves 2-5.
Jana Novotna has not done anything wrong this second set, and she's not. The level of her play really hasn't gone down that much. It's just that Martina Hingis has switched gears. She got a little annoyed at herself, and you better watch it if she gets mad at herself.
Good job by Novotna. She slipped and still executed that volley. You look at our first set versus second set, and Hingis picking up her game as Chris Evert predicted she would do.
Net for service.
Good depth on that volley.
Martina Hingis, I think what helps her also is that losing is really foreign to her. I mean, she doesn't know anything else but winning. When she was 5 years old, she was beating all the 10-year-olds in her club. She won all the junior titles, so it was an easy transition to get to the women's game. In '94, she played her first pro match, defeated Patty Fendick, and her quote was, "I'm not that surprised. I've beaten better players." Well, the other players didn't like that too much.
Well, she started the season with 37 consecutive wins, winning 6 titles, including the Australian Open, and lost to Maioli in the finals of the French, and picked up again.
Where she says that she's just happy to reach the finals at the French. I mean, she was out for 7 weeks. We forgot, you know, we can't forget that she had surgery on her knee after being thrown from her horse. Had no preparation at all, and she reached the final. That shows how great she is.
Novotna puts the pressure on Hingis, who now will serve for the second set. Rolex time of the match is 53 minutes. At a tournament steeped in tradition, the Rolex clock has graced center court for 20 years. 3:05 in the afternoon here at Wimbledon, in what to this point has been the nicest day of the entire fortnight. Temperature in the low 70s, sunny skies. A championship plagued the first week by rains. Thursday and Friday of the first week totally washed out. Only the second time in history back-to-back days, forcing a backlog of matches that included play in the middle Sunday for only the second time in history. And the second week has been delightful tennis.
Sometimes when you're playing at Wimbledon, you feel like you're playing 2 different tournaments, you know, because when the conditions are wet, the court's slower, the bounces are lower. The bounces are faster today, I find, with the harder court.
15 love.
Few errors now creeping into Novotna's game. Well, a bounce and that placement into the body really jammed her.
It's a combination. Martina Hingis is stepped up to the plate, and she's just playing a level better. Jana Novotna's getting a few more bad bounces, and she's looking up to the friends box at Hanna Manlikova. And you always know a player's in trouble when they start looking up every point.
That looked long.
That was deep. Well, they're using the whole court, hitting great ground strokes. Martina Hingis playing well from the middle of the court and just showcasing the variety in her game. And we see that smile.
Times when you see a point of that sort, the way she authored it, you wonder, how can she be only 16? Throws in a double fault, her first, in fact, the first of the match.
That's why I think I'm most surprised. I'm not surprised that she's #1 in the world at 16. I'm surprised the way she plays, the variety that she has. Most players, it takes a little bit longer to acquire every aspect of the game.
She had Novotna just on her knees, anticipating.
This also shows how low she gets to the ground. She's always been on her knees. That's probably why she has it taped right now.
Prayer answered. The ball hits the tape and falls back. 40-30.
Good anticipation, Jana Novotna. Just no holding back with her. She's just smacking. No, not being tentative at all. A little more emotions creeping into her psyche right now. She was so calm that first set. Now she's really into it. Fired up.
set points denied. And now a break point for Novotna. This could be a real turnabout. One of her better serves of the match, and it came at a great time. Knock away break point.
You know, we see this big flat serve once in a while. I don't know why she does it more. She doesn't do it more often, because she sometimes throws in 3/4 spin and slice serves, but she has that hard serve.
Well, that had to be long. That was at our end, and I have to agree with her. And Jeremy Shales.
This is a big point, too.
Sorry? Yeah, of course. Every time it hits the line. Yeah, did you see it?
That appeared to be well beyond the line. We're right on the Royal Box end of the court, and had a pretty good view of the placement of the ball, but Jeremy Shales cannot overrule.
Again, a big serve to the backhand side, deep to that corner.
That's interesting, too, at 16. You'd think if she got mad, it'd be just the opposite. She'd crumble. But you pointed out that she gets even tougher when
She does, because she gets complacent sometimes. Then she gets, you know, on herself, because she knows that she's a better player than that.
Now their second serve. And the third break point for Novotna. And Melanie said, oh my, we've had 3 set points from 40 love, and now Novotna trying to get even.
And Melanie, the more emotional of the two, she has to be calm right now, because she senses her daughter is getting a little rattled, looking up to her all the time for support. This is the time for Melanie to be calm.
What a pressure backhand pass that was.
Another down the line. Jana, you should be seeing and sensing these shots now.
Set point number 4. Longest game of the match by a considerable amount. Set point, a net court winner for Novotna.
And what a good time for a net court like this.
Novotna's a terrific athlete, isn't she?
Yeah, but, you know, Martina's playing the whole court so well now. She's taking the net away from Novotna. And there we see that smile. We did not see that the first set.
Set point 5 here to draw even in the match.
Good play.
They'll play one set for the Ladies' Championship of Wimbledon.
Melrose Place's Kristen Davis.
I want the truth.
Welcome back. Martina Hingis, 6-3, captures the second set. Final set as you look at Ken Rosewall, two-time Wimbledon doubles champion, 4 times a finalist here. Never won this title. Probably, if you were to rate the top 3 ever, great players not to win Wimbledon, his name would have to be on that list.
Sitting next to him was Jan Kodish. You couldn't really see him, but he did win Wimbledon. The year there was a boycott, he beat Alex Metrovelli in the finals. Sort of a weak year, but nonetheless, he did win it.
Love 15.
So Jana Novotna, her first double fault, opens the third set.
Tough time for Jana Novotna right now. She's probably thinking, oh, I've been through this before. What must I do at this point? And she just needs to keep focused and keep playing the ball. Not look over at Martina.
Pretty impressive, isn't it? Tested 12 times this year, Hingis. 3 setters. Perfect 12-0 record.
I hope Jana doesn't know that.
Wide. 15-13.
Big game for her. Big game. First game of the third set. She's serving. She needs to hold here. All right, so she anticipated finally. Won about 15 points off this down the line backhand. It's time that Jana woke up a little bit and realized that this is the pattern here. That could be the shot of the match if she doesn't start to read it a little bit better.
Wait, please. Thank you.
Here we go again.
Well, she hasn't employed the cross-court backhand maybe once the whole match.
Right. One time she had a soft cross-court angle, but 90% of the time she's going down the line, and Jana should just like hit it and run over there.
Great chance to open the final set for Hingis. Yeah, that serve too good. Duchess of Kent, very interested spectator. Interestingly, she's wearing white, and it was almost a little off-white outfit that she wore the day 4 years ago that Novotna broke down on her shoulder after the Duchess had said, "You'll win it someday." And Novotna said she was all full of emotion, and when the Duchess said that, she just couldn't hold back, and out it came. You could just almost see in her face a different expression there, couldn't you? Another break point for Hingis.
After that match, that 93 final, her coach, Hanna Malinkovo, asked Jana, were you nervous? And she said no. She said, I just went for my shots and they didn't work.
She's really off on her serve at this point. Well, missing not even the beeper coming into play as she's so long.
But she's doing great in this game. She's staying in this game. It was almost eerie to me how well. That was the best first set of grass court tennis I've ever seen a woman tennis player play. The question was, could she keep it up?
case you're joining us late, Novotna took the first set 6-2 and allowed only 6 points off her serve.
Advantage Miss Hingis.
Third breaker. Oh, agonizing over that missed volley by Novotna. Just long. That would have been a tough test had it landed on the line.
Jana Novotna, I still say she's a two-shot player. The serve and the first volley are the most important strokes for her. That's where she's going to win or lose the point.
It's out. And what a save by Hingis. Just stuck her racket out and kept the ball alive, forced the error.
She wasn't missing shots like these in the first set. She's definitely making some more unforced errors.
Fourth chance for Hingis to break.
If I were her, I'd serve to her forehand rather than her backhand. That seems to be the strength in this match so far.
Oh, just missed.
Big opportunity. She had the whole court open on that backhand side.
She could taste that. Went for too much.
Look at this. She has really a good shot. This is about 8 inches out on the sideline.
Fourth deuce.
Too good.
Oh.
Too good.
What a touch.
Advantage Miss Hingis.
Very underrated shot on grass. So you have a tendency to think that you have to blow your opponent off the court and serve and volley, but the lob and the drop shot are two touch shots that are very important.
Well, she held that so long too and kept Novotna moving forward.
Yeah.
So this becomes the longest game of the match, opening the final set, as Novotna has fought off 5 break points. But she kept the point alive. Look at this terrific half volley.
Pickup volley was great. And Martina had enough time really to go both ways, but she went the percentage way. She's been hitting so many down the lines, and she's sticking with it. It's winning her some points.
Finally, a game point, Novotna. Now, that's a very important save. 5 breakers saved by Novotna.
If you want more computer for your money, you got to call us, the friendly folks at Gateway 2000.
Phone is back up. Pick up the phone and give us a call.
Call now. Call now. Call now.
Kind of nervous.
Call now.
Grab the phone. Give us a call. Pick up the...
Dial, dial, dial.
Dial.
Right now.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. To find out more, call 1-800-GATEWAY. Call us today.
The forecast. No more than a somewhat educated guess. Those who trust it often wind up in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unlike others,
We don't rely on reports of clear skies or dark skies in the market. Our mutual funds rely on simple, clear strategies that seek performance through discipline. We have no use for weather reports. We are not in the guessing business. AIM. Invest with discipline.
Today, the WNBA returns to NBC. Lisa Leslie and the LA Sparks face Vicky Bullet and the Charlotte Sting. Today at 2 Eastern on NBC.
No, we're not going to take him into time.
Welcome back. Jana Novotna in an exhausting opening game of the final set. Fought off 5 break points. Has called for the trainer.
WTA trainer Kathleen Stroya, but they will not take a timeout, an injury timeout. She perhaps is going to save that for the latter part of the third set if she really needs her more.
She pulled out of the doubles with a thigh injury, a fatigue injury, which can cover a multitude of sins. The patch on the knee, something she's worn throughout the championships. It's a thigh injury that she claimed took her out of doubles. Quadriceps right leg.
Ooh.
Wide open court. 15-all. Rare miss by Hingis.
Martina Hingis, you don't see the smile today that you've seen in previous matches. The British press, they're relentless. They've called her the smiling assassin.
Just out.
30-15.
You see that drop shot that shows the variety in her game, and Jana just missing it on the sideline. Martina Hingis probably thinks she called the trainer out for some sort of injury problem, so I'm just going to move around the court and see how bad that injury is.
30.
Good low returns from Jana Novotna. I mean, she's really slicing that ball low, and Hingis, when she misses in the net. She has to get a little more topspin, come underneath the ball a little bit more.
Now their second serve at 30-all. Novotna with a break point.
Boy, both players, they don't only overpower each other, but they just show a lot of finesse out there.
Their first serve missed.
See what Jana does if she takes advantage and comes in off the second serve.
Pressuring every chance.
Yep, and the approach shot was not deep enough. Mid-court, it just sat up there. Martina had no problem with that shot.
Rumble from the center court crowd at the far end. Novotna's end. The ball hit by Hingis prior to the error was long, and another break point. And Jana Novotna, who denied Hingis 5 chances in the first game of this set, has broken and takes a 2-love lead.
Final set.
Coming up next on NBC, WNBA, the birth of a league. We'll look at the history of women's professional basketball in America and learn the inspiration behind the WNBA. And then one of the league's top scorers, Andrea Stinson, and the Charlotte Sting play the LA Sparks. That's the WNBA, birth of a league, coming up next, followed by LA Charlotte, 2 o'clock Eastern on NBC. And a reminder tomorrow, breakfast at Wimbledon at 9 a.m. live Eastern, 6 a.m. in the Pacific Coast. The men's final, Sampras Pioline tomorrow.
Martina Hingis, after that game, changed rackets, got a brand new racket. Not happy with the way she was playing with that old racket, perhaps.
Love 50.
Very often with a new racket, you're going to get a little more zip to the ball if the strings are fresher. A little more power. That's what she's hoping for at this point.
15.
And showing signs of a temper. She bounced her racket. She does get angry at herself, and when she does, she starts hitting the ball harder, and consequently, most of the time she'll play better, but she's been known to also tank a few sets.
Just long. Straight beyond the baseline. 30-15. Pretty close.
Again, that forehand is pretty flat. It doesn't really have a lot of cushion because she doesn't hit with a lot of topspin. So if she mishits it, like she has a couple of shots.
She hasn't missed on many forehands
A couple
today.
she's mishit, though. They've gone in the stands.
Only 4 unforced off the forehand.
Which is great for her because that's really the weakness in her game, if there is a weakness, that forehand side. She's been at the net so many times, she hasn't needed to hit any forehand. Just a lot of backhand slice approach shots. Just gets her racket head up in front of her.
And a point now for 3-love, final set.
But Martina Hingis knows she's at the right place at the right time. She's so instinctive that way. And again, a backhand down the line winner. If she wins this match, it's because of that shot. 13 winners.
Only
Hingis.
one for Novotna. Of course, that's because Novotna's attacking.
A lot more volley winners from Novotna.
Chalk up another backhand winner, and we have another break point.
I can't believe Jana Novotna isn't seeing this pattern. It's unbelievable to me that she just doesn't run over there after she hits to Hingis's backhand and just make her hit a couple of cross-court winners. She's stubborn that way.
Second serve. Chance to break back for Hingis. What a brilliant play. She picked off the ball midair. Breaks back.
It's at home, anywhere. Most people know us as the inventors of a wonder drug, but we also help make fabrics stronger, homes more energy efficient, animals healthier. And we're helping to lead the way in biotech research.
So much good we can do for each other. Oh, what a world it can be.
Bayer. In healthcare, chemicals, and imaging technologies, we cure more headaches than you think.
After day one, John Brody has the lead, but Trent Dilfer is just one shot back. The Isuzu Celebrity Golf Championship today on NBC.
Jana, Novotna, and Martina Hingis return to the court. They've exchanged breaks the last two games, and while we're away again, Novotna being attended.
It's hard. We can't hear what's going on. They're having a conversation, but she's not really touching her and massaging or anything. So we don't know what the extent of the injury is, but she's certainly moving well.
Second ace, Hingis. Again, she tries to go up the line.
It's one of the few times that she's missed that shot. I tell you, Jana Novotna, that first game was so important. If she would have lost that game, I think she would have been out of the match by now.
5 break points against her serve, but she held on. Oh, what placement.
30-15.
Well, you don't want to get into a baseline rally with Martina Hingis, and because she's going to be winning the majority of the points.
Cross court that time.
Well, Martina Hingis starting to mix up the backhands, not going down the line so many times, mixing it up with some cross course, some short angles.
And she caught Novotna a little bit. She was anticipating, as you've said, I can't understand why she isn't covering the line. Tried to there, and
ooh, oh. This is an excellent approach shot, deep. Jana Novotna is out of the court, but she just slices it in a cute angle.
40-30. Point for 2-all final set. Hingis with a fine volley. It's 2-all.
2-game goal, final set.
Following Wimbledon, of course, they'll recalculate and rank the top players, WTA, and projecting based on this fortnight, Hingis will remain number 1, Novotna to 2, Sellis, who is the number 2 seed, here to 3, Maioli, who had a good grass championship, and then Steffi Graf, of course, sidelined with a knee injury.
And hopefully we'll see back at the U.S. Open or sometime this year.
Oh, she missed it.
15
Graf, who won this championship 5 of the last 6 years. Last year, 6-3, 7-5 over Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. And total Graf 7 Wimbledon titles.
I wonder if she's watching this final. She's probably very frustrated at this point that she can't be out here competing against these two players. She's one of the best competitors ever.
15 over.
Hingis, as we watch this again, was very confident, was asked about Graf and the fact when she comes back, won't your number 1 status be in danger? And she said, basically, well, she'll be coming back from injury. Why should she be better than when she was before? Why should I not still be number 1?
She doesn't
just
show
remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, she doesn't show much respect for Steffi Graf, and it really is too bad. Steffi has been so dominant and hasn't had no real challenge since Sellis in '93. So it'd be great for her to look at the state of women's tennis and say, hey, there are a lot of players that are very tough now. The depth is back. then maybe it'll present more of a challenge for her. Maybe that'll get the fires burning a little bit.
We're getting word now the injury on Novotna is to an abdominal muscle on her left side. And word is that the next changeover that they'll try to ice that down. Baseline.
Great playing by Jana Novotna. That stomach injury, if there is an injury, that will affect her serve. If you watch her serve, she really stretches. She uses her back and really stretches up to the ball. Uses her whole body in this serve. If you watch the knees, the back, and then extends her arm up to the ball. But is not bending back as much as usual. And that's probably protecting the stomach muscle.
The other shot that would hurt that muscle is the slice cross court across the body. That one. Certainly didn't bother her there.
It's great to see a smile from Jana Novotna. See, she really didn't use her stomach. She turned her body to protect her stomach on that serve. Still trying to get into the net where she wants to make her points.
Hingis making that service return winner look so easy.
Well, you know, if Jana doesn't place it, I mean, it's one thing to hit with power, but if she doesn't place it well, she loves the target up there.
2-all deuce final set. Hingis, who had 5 chances to break to open this set, could not, then did break back in the last Novotna service game to draw even, and now has a break point for a 3-2 lead. Game to Hingis. She leads 3-2 in the final set.
The sea has been in my family for about 200 years. My father was a captain at sea. My grandfather was a captain. My great-grandfather was a captain. My name is Peter Kelly. I'm with Mobil. I was the first captain on the Eagle. It's a great honor for me. The Eagle is the first double-hull supertanker built and operated by an oil company. It was designed to be as environmentally protective as it could possibly be. It's 2 ships, one inside the other. The oil is contained in the inner hull. Outside the outer hull, you have the sea. The Eagle has a very sophisticated navigational system. It's accurate to within feet. We train to a very high level. The sea is continuously changing. Mobil makes sure that we have the best ships. My job is to make sure that we are also the best sailors. We, as a company, must protect this environment because it's so important to this planet, the planet that we're on.
We're back at Center Court, Wimbledon. Breakfast at Wimbledon, the ladies' final, and Jana Novotna holding that ice pack against her left abdominal cage. And will resume play without taking an injury timeout. But is down 3-2 to Hingis, being broken her last 2 service games. Quite the opposite from the player we saw to start this match when she controlled her serve and Hingis for a relatively easy 6-2 opening set. Hingis answered 6-3 in the second, now serves 3-2.
Well, the ice will only numb it a little bit for maybe a point or 2, but you'd hate to think that that's a bad injury because it affects her serve, which is the only, I mean, that's her only shot if she gets that first serve in.
Another lob winner for Hingis.
You know, and Hingis is looking at her and saying, okay, she's icing her stomach. I'll throw her up a couple lobs.
Let her stretch for those.
Yeah. Expose that injury even a little bit more.
Beautiful drop shot. So a lob, drop shot. Here's a 16-year-old, and you're wondering why she's #1 in the world?
I don't wonder. Do you? I think you wonder a little bit.
I'm starting to believe.
Are you getting it a little bit there,
I'm
Dick?
starting to get it. Nothing really smacked me in the forehead until this championship. She is showing me what an all-court player she is.
Well, how about what a smart player she is. Boy.
As you said, she lost 6-2 opening set. She'll find a way. And she changed her game. She doesn't just stick with one plan. And her play around the service line when she gets caught at mid-court is incredible.
And the approach shot. I mean, everybody, you're either a baseliner, you practice your ground strokes, you practice your volleys, but what about that third shot, getting to the net? That's just as important.
Just wide. Well, Novotna had the winner anyway.
Well, surely she can't expect every one of her shots to go in at this point. Racket's like a magic wand. Although that did look close.
But Novotna had the ball in the court for the winner anyway. .30-15.
Smart play.
She got punished for that soft second serve.
Ooh, around the line.
And Novotna has a break point.
Novotna showing no signs of nerves at all. Really playing adventurous tennis, taking chances, trying to get into the net.
This break point, full even at 3-all. Players would have saved that point under pressure.
She just reads the direction of the ball so well. She knows the angles of the court. She's really stepped up in her mobility too. She doesn't look slow.
That ball appeared to be behind her. She buggy whipped it. Net cord, she hits that winner.
Advantage, Miss Hingis.
Ball clipped the net cord, skidded low. She stayed with it. Now a point for 4-2 Hingis. So Martina Hingis, final set, owns a 4-2 lead.
Hingis leads.
Rolex time of the match now, 1 hour and 37 minutes. They split sets. And then in the second and third games of this final set, traded breaks. Hingis broke back in the 5th game to take a 3-2 lead, and now has extended it to 4-2. Now, no room for error for the 28-year-old veteran Novotna.
And again, Jana Novotna is doing nothing wrong. I mean, the worst thing you can say is that she's staying at the same level. Martina Hingis, is unbelievable the way she's lifted the level of her game. She just revels in the pressure. She embraces it. She loves it.
she's just taking batting practice now. Ripping clean winners.
Probably just took a while for her to get used to Novotna's serve. I mean, she's only played one serve and volleyer, Nicole Arendt, who is a lefty. Now she's reading her serve a lot better.
And that is her 43rd winner of the match and a triple break point. Sitting on 3 chances to take a 5-2 lead and then serve for the championship. Can Novotna pull out something special to save this game?
She'll need to, because it's slipping through her fingers right now. And even if she overhits, I mean, she's got to come up with something and not just play the same way. Take some more chances.
Game is Hingis.
Now, sadly, the double fault. When we return, Martina Hingis at 16 will serve for another Grand Slam title.
A lot of people my age set off on cruises around the world. Now I set off on a second career. Hi, guys. Of course, my Dean Witter brokers.
Third chance to win a Grand Slam. Jana Novotna had led 2-love in this final set, but now Martina Hingis, a run of 5 straight games. Novotna attending to an abdominal injury that most certainly has slowed down her game, but at the same time, Martina Hingis picking up hers and now serves for the championship. One of those chances you talked about, Chris. Put a little pressure and Hingis with the air.
We haven't seen many of those, though, in the last 2 sets.
Hingis trying to become the first Swiss to ever win the Wimbledon title, man or woman.
Light hands at times. You know, she doesn't try to muscle the ball. When she wants power, she can generate racket head speed. When she wants touch, she just has a soft grip.
Frustrating that point for Novotna. All 5-2. Oh, good slice forehand approach.
Well, she's continuing to just play her game. I mean, the only way she's going to win, she has a chance, is just to keep coming in relentlessly on anything at this point.
Cheering for Novotna, 2 break points.
15-14.
She's still in this match. Don't count her out if desire counts for anything.
Oh, one of those breaks taken back by Novotna. It's 5-3.
Hingis leads 5-3, final set.
Into the 16-year-old mature eyes of Martina Hingis. Her mother, a top 30 Czech player in the Martina Navratilova era, and great admiration for the tremendous champion Navratilova, named her daughter Martina with hope she could live up to that name.
Well, she's totally dedicated her whole life to bringing up Martina Hingis and be around her career, to be a big influence in her life.
Crowd groaning with a fourth double fault. Part of that reaction.
Martina
historical.
Hingis, well, Martina, and she was totally outclassed and outplayed that first set, and she figured out what she did wrong. She remedied it. She really changed her game. And perhaps showing a little bit of a lapse that we talked about. Maybe she felt at 5-2 that she'd already won the match. The tough part was done.
To stay in that point and prevailed 30-15.
Well, it's one of the rare moments that she won a baseline rally for Martina Hingis.
But it's been tough for Novotna in this set. Her first serve percentage down to 47%. Her serve and volley are not good. First serve in that time, but drilled on the return by Hingis, who is now 2 points from the championship at 30-all.
If Martina Hingis wins this match, it's that backhand down the line. Won so many points, 12, 13 points. And Jana will be thinking about that shot for a long time.
Championship point, Hingis on a deftly tossed lob. It's wide. One match point gone. Little squeal from Hingis.
Serve jammed her. She served her right into the body.
Saving a match point. Novotna, the last time someone saved a match point in the Wimbledon Championship and won.
Jana yelling to herself.
Last time a player in the women's final saved match point and won the final was 62 years ago. Helen Wills Moody against Helen Jacobs. Deuce. Back to deuce.
Oh, as the pressure gets greater, the grunts get louder.
And I know Helen Wills Moody Rourke, 91 years of age, watching out in California. These wonderfully contrasting players. Veteran serve and volleyer Novotna and the precocious baseliner all-court player Hingis.
As a contrast, but they're both ending up to be all-court players and playing the whole court. It's a great showcase for women's tennis, showing the variety of these women.
second championship point. Is there another backhand winner in there? 21 of them for Hingis in the match. She's brilliant at 16. She's lost once all year. She's won 2 major championships and defeated in the finals of the other. Melody Molitor's daughter is building a foundation at such a young age. Who knows how great she'll be? Already a double Grand Slam winner this year. Jana Novotna, a great fight. Battling injury and a tough young opponent. Goes down 2-6, 6-3, 6-3 to Martina Hingis. It'll be interesting in light of what happened 4 years ago when Novotna and the Duchess of Kent meet on court to present the runner-up prize. Well, each day she builds those who believe in how good she is, and some wonderful evidence today. What a terrific win for her. She beat an outstanding player. And we'll be back with a trophy presentations, always one of the top emotional moments in sport, after this.
The legendary chalice of Malta has never come cheap. In 1238, it was captured by 10,000 Celts. In 1512, it took an entire armada. And in 1703, it took an arranged marriage to the daughter of Charles V, the older one. But luckily, if you want the golden chalice of Malta, all you need is the golden card of Visa, with extraordinary purchase power for extraordinary things. It's even mightier than the sword. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Goes for his 4th Wimbledon crown when he faces Cedric Violin. A Sampras win would move him within just 1 victory of Bjorn Borg's modern-day Wimbledon record. Breakfast at Wimbledon, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on NBC.
Quiet falls on center court as Duke and Duchess of Kent make their way down from the royal box. Alan Mills, the referee of the championships, there to congratulate both finalists. Jeremy Shales, the chair umpire on the left. And now the presentation of the Duke, who is the president of the All England Club, and the Duchess, who will make the presentation of the championship trophy. They will spend time and slowly make their way to center stage after visiting kindly with the young boys and girls who have served as such great aids to this championship.
And Dick, I don't think we're going to see the same emotional Jana Novotna. I think we're going to see a big smile on her face, you know, because she showed very good nerves throughout the whole match. I mean, she did not lose that match. She just played a tougher opponent who just had the answers for everything. And that's why she's #1, Martina Hingis, right now.
Oh, you better get ready because you're going there too.
I know. 4 years ago, she was 1 point away from a 5-1 lead, a double breakup on Steffi Graf, and totally disintegrated, and that's was the cause of that emotional outpouring.
That first set, Jana Novotna, I've never seen a better first set from any woman, and I've played Martina a lot, but it was picture-perfect tennis, no errors, a lot of winners, just really solid grass court tennis.
Speaking to each other in Czech.
Well, in one of the 4 languages that they both speak. They have a very healthy respect for one another. Good vibrations with these players, unlike some of the players in the locker room.
And the Duchess talking to the last young ball boy in line. And now with the Union Jack covering the pedestal where the trophies rest. Chris Gorringe, top executive here at the All England Club. And out. comes Jana Novotna, for the second time runner-up Wimbledon.
It was clear that she was on Jana Novotna's side during the match when we showed her emotions. The Duchess, a big fan of Jana Novotna.
And now the unbelievable talent of this young champion, Martina Hingis, rewarded with her first Wimbledon title. Only 8 more to catch her namesake.
A very proud mother. And Dick, nobody has ever been this good at 16 years old. She certainly has the staying power. She can only get better. That's scary to her opponents. She's far from her peak right now.
The hundreds of thousands of young women who have tried this century, the youngest to be so good to win Wimbledon. Jeremy Shales, the chair umpire. He has worked all the Wimbledon finals, ladies, men's, mixed, and both doubles. One of the few to have that honor. 52 years of age, 54 now, from Teddington, Middlesex, England.
Sort of an underappreciated, being an umpire, being a linesman, you know, they get abused a lot, but it's a very important role in the game of tennis. The ball boys, the ball girls, the whole setting.
Chris, you raised that championship trophy 3 times. Is it all a blur at this point, or can you really sense the moment?
Well, it's sort of a blur. You know, you have to enjoy the moment because it doesn't last very long at all. And most of these players will be going on next week to play Federation Cup or other tournaments, and very important to appreciate what this means. But also at 16, you sort of wonder at that young of an age if you can appreciate it as much as, say, a Jana at 28 years old. I mean, I always appreciated my victories when I was older because I had gone through adversity and ups and downs, and it was harder to work, harder to train. It's come so early for her and very easily.
Reminder, as Hingis satisfies the request of photographers, we'll have men's doubles action for you. We have a lot more to cover on this Breakfast at Wimbledon edition. Well, they continue in their conversation.
They should just go have tea after the match. But Martina Hingis, I look, it's very possible for her to win a Grand Slam. Also, you know, all 4 in 1 year because Maureen Conley, Steffi Graf, Margaret Court, she's 16 years old and she's already won 2 of the first 3 Grand Slams.
And came close at the French.
Came close to the French after being off for 7 weeks. And why not the U.S. Open? I mean, the way she's playing now, hard court would even be a better surface for her.
Those are wonderful shots of her mother.
I can't even imagine having 3 sons, how that must feel. Can you?
The time that every parent who supports a young boy or girl who wants to play this game, and it all comes to this wonderful climax.
Well, they have a great relationship. I hope it stays that way. Martina, she's getting to be more and more independent. She's a very strong-willed young woman. Her mother will have to just grow with her. And
a father who, parents are divorced, father back in Czechoslovakia watching on television, as are Novotna's parents in a hospital watching all this from long range. But no matter how far away you may be, you can feel what that woman is expressing now.
Wishful thinking.
Well, one wonders now how many chances realistically she'll get with Hingis getting better and Anya Kournikova, Venus Williams is a whole new battalion of wonderfully talented young teenagers on the women's side, and age is not an advantage for the Novotnas of the world. So the champion, 1997, the #1 seed, the #1 player in the world, lived up to all the hype, all the predictions. She is the champion. We'll hear from her in a moment.
On the NBC Saturday night movie, they can't get to heaven till they bring Robert Downey Jr. and Elizabeth Shue together. How are you? Heart and Souls, NBC tonight.
For 7 days only, your Toyota dealer is giving cash back, reducing leases, and lowering interest rates. Get $1,500 cash back on any new 97 T100 4-cylinder, $1,000 back on any new V6 T100. You can buy any new 97 Tacoma and get $1,000 back, or lease a new Tacoma for just $139 a month. See your Toyota dealer and get up to $1,500 cash back. We've got what it takes, San Diego.
San Diego's most watched station, NBC 7.
39.
The Tournament of Wimbledon, brought to you by Dean Witter. There are many ways to measure success. We measure it one investor at a time. And by Caterpillar.
Welcome back to center court. Jana Novotna taking a victory lap, and for her this was a win. She battled through the championship and forced Martina Hingis to rally after her very impressive opening set win. Hanna Mandlikova, her coach, knows the feeling. She too a runner-up twice here, so coach and player can commiserate in that regard. Mandlikova lost to Martina Navratilova and to Chris Evert in her 2 Wimbledon finals. Martina Hingis will shortly, along with Novotna, leave court, and Bud Collins there waiting to get the reaction of both players. We'll have men's doubles. Woodford and Woodbridge from Australia, they're working on their own piece of Wimbledon history. You know, they've won 4 straight titles here and trying to tie the all-time record of 5, and you have to win for the turn of the century for that record. They'll be in action. We saw Woodbridge play against the remarkable talents of Pete Sampras in the semifinals. But this July 5th, 1997, heralds the first Wimbledon championship for Martina Hingis. They'll make the turn, and as they do, we'll call on Bud Collins.
Bob Bachet has brought them around. Jana Novotna, you played such magnificent tennis. You got all the way to a point for Krumlov in the 3rd set. What happened there?
Well, I guess it wasn't enough, obviously. I thought that I played really well in the 1st set, even though I was struggling from the beginning with my serve because of my pulled abdominal muscle, and I was getting a little bit tired towards the 2nd set, and it was starting to hurt a little bit, but nevertheless full credit to Martina. I think she played magnificent tennis today, and she found a way how to pass me, and she kept doing it all the way till the end of the match.
You did you play your game? You were just going to come regardless,
Oh,
hell
yes,
or high water.
Well, absolutely, yes. That was the tactic, to come after everything, make Martina win it or lose it, you know. And I stick to that till the end of the match. But again, Martina was just too good today.
Too strong. You played awfully well, though. What do you think was the point that turned it? Now, you had 3 break points in the end of the second set.
I wouldn't look at it this way. I think that the turnover really started in the beginning of the second set when I was slowing down on my serve because I couldn't really stretch up. I was quite limited there, and Martina took advantage of that, and from that point, she kept passing and passing.
Gratui, you played magnificently.
Thank you. Thanks.
And here's the champion. I bow to the queen, the new queen. We don't have too many 16-year-old champions around here. You're a little older than Charlotte Dodd was 110 years ago, but I don't think she played anybody like Jana Novotna. How did you turn it around?
Well, I just tried to keep the ball in the game, but she didn't give me enough space to make some passing shots in the first set. But I was like, come on, I can't lose anything anymore, and just play her game and try to make her tired. She gives me enough space, and well, I didn't play bad in the first set already, but I mean, I just came back out of there and I played a great match.
She had a point for a 3-love lead in the third set, and did you anticipate? You got a backhand passer there that seemed it was going to be her point.
Well, I don't remember all the shots I made. I mean, some of them, they were pretty lucky, but I mean, she was just so close to the net, and she was like so hard to pass in the first set, and in the third I was getting a little tired, but then, I mean, I just hit some of unbelievable shots.
3 break points she had against you when you served for the first set. If she gets one of those break points, are you going to lose?
Well, you can't tell. I mean, if I would lose the first set, so she would start to serve, and I would just try to make something else, but I mean, I started in the second set, and I was always the game up, and that helped me for sure to concentrate more a little on the returns.
3 major championships played this year. You're in the finals, and you make 2 for 3. Not bad for a 16-year-old.
Well, now, when I won the Wimbledon competition here, so it makes me even more upset that I lost that finals in Paris. But
to Maioli.
Because I could go for a Grand Slam, but she was just a better player there, and I mean, to win Wimbledon, it's like...
We thank you. Here's the trophy and the face of the 16-year-old champion. Thank you, Martina. Dick?
Already thinking about her place with the elite Grand Slams, and who knows how many opportunities she will have. Certainly establishing herself as the best player in women's tennis. Martina Hingis, far beyond her 16 years in every way. On and off the court, Jana Novotna close, but runner-up again here at Wimbledon. Well, she'll have these pictures that maybe she can fool grandchildren with someday. Yeah, I held the Wimbledon Champions Trophy. See? Well, coming up next, Woodford and Woodbridge, the conclusion of their men's double semifinal against Wayne Black and American Jim Grabb, plus 4-time